Hey, this is James Ortolani with Wilflex Inks.
Tyler Dummett with Workhorse Products.
Dave with Dick Clark Associates. Alan Howe with Sadi Chem. You're listening to the Two Regular Guys podcast.
Hosted by Aaron Montgomery and Terry Combs.
Welcome to the show.
All right. Well, welcome to the show today. It is Friday, November 30th, 2018. My name's Terry Combs. I'm with Equipment Zone, and you can also find me at terrycombs.com.
And my name's Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me at aaronmontgomery.info. Today, we're going to be talking apparel, product customization, and what that means for the promotional products world. And we've got Sara, the senior editor with Advantages Magazine over at ASI, joining us here in just a little bit. So this is going to be a great conversation. I've actually had a chance to talk to her. This was something I did back in September. So we're catching up here on the Two Regular Guys, but I had a chance to talk to her about this topic and be on a podcast with her. So we're going to talk about all that. Really cool. This is an area that I think is huge in our world, the customization and how things are changing. And so getting a feel for how that affects the promotional products world too is going to be pretty exciting today, Terry.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to that conversation. And you're right. You know, we, you had a conversation in September. We're getting a little backed up on people signing up to be on the show. We're well into the first quarter of 2019 with shows booked up. So if you have a desire to be on the show, make sure you get with us right away. But Aaron, a couple of news items. I wanted to start off with the National Council of Textile Organizations, which is NCTO. They recently testified before the U.S. International Trade Commission, ITC, on the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, the USMCA. Augie Tantillo, CEO of the NCTO, represented the organization at the November 16th session, and appearing on the General Manufacturing Panel. His testimony discussed the impact of the agreement on the U.S. economy, but more specifically, and more importantly to us, to the textile industry.
Nice. Okay. Well, that very good, Terry. That's a lot of acronyms and
it was indeed.
So
I'm very little sleep, Aaron, since I arrived back here at 1:30 a.m. from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic this morning.
Nice. Well, everybody that is stuck in cold, wintry weather can send their hate mail. Where do they send that, Terry?
Yeah, that's just Two Regular Guys.
Okay,
we can share the hate. But yeah, you do often ask me, so do you want people to hate you?
I live in Scottsdale and the weather's beautiful year round and blah, blah, blah. And I travel to the Dominican for Thanksgiving every year.
Well, yeah, hey, you know what? It's only 60 degrees here today, so burr.
Oh, yeah, I got my sweater. Okay. All right. Well, the news item that I had is actually just a personal thing that I wanted to share. I've got a press release heading out here today, so I thought I'd share it here first. My weekly 30-minute video series, I put out a free 6-part. It started as 5-part and brought my good friend Terry in for part 6. Video series designed to empower small business owners and help them develop their own business plans using the latest expert marketing techniques. I had this press release written for me, by the way. The 5 free videos are now available over at my website at aaronmontgomery.info/business plan, and come with a chance to win a free Echo Dot if you complete the 5 homework assignments before the end of the year. So
wow,
just want to make
cool.
sure everybody has that opportunity to pick up an Echo Dot. I love my Echo Dot. In fact, if I were to say computer, it would wake up. There we go. Stuff there. Hey, Terry, before we continue, I want to get a couple of folks are already checking in this morning, so we appreciate that. Jim, good morning. And this is from our producer, Eric, is tuning in as the Two Regular Guys. So here we go. He'll be helping us in the comment section today. And got some other folks here, so I'm just popping them up on the screen if you're catching the live video segment. Great group of folks checking in. So there we go. I've got them. I think I've got them all there, Terry, on the screen.
Very nice.
So,
Very nice.
thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And yeah, we're looking forward to this conversation today.
Yeah, speaking of that, Aaron, you want to thank all of our regular listeners and any new listeners who've tuned in today. If you have an idea for a future show, go to our Contact Us page at 2 regularguys.com, or reach out to us on social media. We are everywhere under the number 2, Regular Guys. And if you're catching the live video via Facebook, feel free to jump in, participate. We love to have your comments, your questions, and have an active conversation.
Yeah, definitely. This is always great, and one of the things that we've loved about moving to this video platform is that in continued interaction. We had the live chat with the previous version, but this is really really cool, really kind of real time, and you can kind of see who's who and who's doing what, and loving it. So definitely keep those comments, questions, just saying how awesome we are, kind of thing. Those kind of fun things, right, Terry?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of awesome. Nice. Well, speaking of awesome, Terry, I'm going to pop this up here, the website that you want to be visiting. It is that time. You need to be registering or registered already for ThreadX 19, which is happening February 17th through the 19th, 2019 in San Diego, California. The speaker list this year is amazing. So if you missed 2018, you cannot miss 2019. This will be and if you made 2018, you already know that you got to be there for 2019. So I'll just add that part. But
Exactly.
This will be a must-attend event with the MC, the kind of keeping the energy high, Ricardo Crispo. He will be there throughout, and I'm really excited about that. He's just such a dynamic guy. I learn something from him every time he talks. You got keynote speaker Benny Gold, who's a San Francisco-based streetwear brand and boutique, and keynote speaker Aaron Draplin, who is a design wizard. So if you register early enough, you can sign up for an intimate hands-on workshop with Aaron Draplin. Only limited slots are available, according to the folks over at SGIA. So you don't want to miss that opportunity. We can't wait to see you all there. And so head over to register for ThreadX 19 at threadxconference.com. And that's what's up on the screen if you're catching the live video here today. So
All right,
definitely can't wait for that, right, Terry?
Oh, absolutely. Really excited about it. It's around the corner. Aaron, as I was flying home last night, I noticed on my American Airlines app that flights are being booked for me for for next year already. They're just popping up according to trade shows, I'm like, wow.
Yep. All right, there you go. Well, hopefully one of those flights is to San Diego, since we won't be able to road trip it there. I still think we should talk about maybe Ubering it back from San Diego to Phoenix.
We should book the Uber I was in last night. I got in this Uber completely decorated for Christmas. They had lights strung across the ceiling, yes. Santa Clauses, there was candy canes and treats for the rider. I'm like, wow, this is hey, you know what? Do your job well, no matter what your job is. That was what I was thinking as I was sitting back there.
Yeah. I mean, that's competitive market too. I've got some friends here in St. Louis that are drivers, and you want to get those high ratings, and no better way than doing your job well and going that extra mile. I don't know if people will still be excited about the decorated car in February, but I guess we'll see.
I'm guessing seasonal. I don't know. That's the first time I've ridden with him. But I was just glad that at 1 a.m. somebody was driving around the airport to pick me up. So
yeah, perfect. Very nice. Well, shall we get into this here, Terry? We've got some great stuff to cover here.
Let's do. Let me talk a little bit about Sara. Sara Lavenduski is the senior editor of Advantages magazine at ASI, which serves distributor sales reps across North America. She is also the editor of Promogram Canada, ASI's bi-monthly newsletter that serves Canadian promotional products market. And she has been with ASI's editorial department for 4 years and with Advantages for 2 years. Welcome into the show, Sara.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're excited to talk to you about this. And, so as Terry and I were talking about at the start, we're obviously a little bit behind the curve here because this was back in September. So appreciate, let's just keep it going. We'll talk about this for, years to come. It seems
there
like
you go.
So I guess let's start back at the beginning, though, probably well before September when you started putting this article together. And the article is called Turning Customary into Customized, and we'll have a link for it in the show notes for people to go check that out over Advantages Magazine September issue. But talk to us a little bit about what drove you to write this and just kind of that start off process there.
Yeah, sure. So in the summer, we started looking at kind companies that are offering ground up customized products. So we saw that, there are sneakers that are fully customized. There's a company called M Tailor where you can get a tailor-made suit or dress shirts, for instance. You don't have to go anywhere. You literally take a video of yourself with your phone, use the app, and you get custom-made products delivered to your door in a matter of days. So we thought, well, if this is becoming not just a nice to have, but almost an expectation now among consumers, what does that mean for our industry? And, in the years to come, what is that going to mean for us trying to keep up with that kind of that trend and those expectations?
Fantastic. Well, one of the things that you talked about in your article that I thought was really interesting was the Google Goes Live event in Cannes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So actually, the company that partnered with Google for that event was YR Live, which I had to thank Aaron. Aaron, when we talked for the article, gave me Tim Williams' name. He's the CEO of this company. They're a British company, but they have offices in New York, LA, in Hong Kong, Tokyo. So they have a global presence. And what they do is they specialize in live customization events. So basically, it gives event attendees a brand experience that's often tied to some kind of product that they take home with them. So for this event, what they did was they partnered with Google at an event called Cannes Lions, which is it's a creative communications and advertising festival the month after the Cannes Film Festival. And Google had a presence there. They had a booth. And so basically what YR Live did was they partnered with Google to open up their Google Doodle archives for the first time exclusively for attendees of this event. So the Google Doodle is when, they have it's an anniversary or someone's birthday, someone's famous, it's their birthday, and they have the logo on their homepage turns into something that's, artful and stylized. Sometimes there's a video attached to it. But they took those stills and they opened up the archives for the event, the attendees of this event. And so basically what you could do is you could scroll through the doodles, the archives, choose your favorite doodle, and then they had the Google colors, so red, blue, green, yellow. They had trucker hats in those colors. So then you could choose one of the 4 colors. The staff at the booth would print your doodle that you chose on a hat of your color, and you could pick it up in a matter of minutes. So there was a spectacle at the booth, there was traffic at the booth. So that was really good for Google. But the other thing was that people were wearing the Google brand all over the event. So it built brand goodwill, it built brand loyalty, and it also gave people an item that they could take home with them that they're very likely to keep for a very, very long time to come because they had a hand in making it.
Well, that's and what better than a hat, because a shirt you're going to put in your bag, a hat you're going to put it on your head, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Well, so talk to us a little bit about how personalized product manufacturers have addressed this on-demand world and that, this on-demand world, this Amazon world that we live in today.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think, the on-demand part of that is so key because people want what they want and they want it now. And so I think we can thank kind of 2 aspects of the world we live in for that. So I think one of them is definitely, like you said, the Amazon world we live in, where people want things, immediately. They have a whole marketplace at their fingertips and they want everything the same day or at the latest the next morning. So everybody wants what they want right now. The other thing I think is that, we can kind of thank Facebook as a big part of the start of it, but social media really in general now, people are kind of forming their own identities, their own likes, dislikes, preferences, tastes. And they're kind of curating this identity for themselves, this personal brand, and we're really embracing that now. And so I think kind of the next step is that in your life, you're going to surround yourself with physical items that reflect or are aligned with that personal identity that you've kind of curated and formed for yourself. So I think there's 2 kind of prongs that we covered in the article. One is personalization. So it's been around a long time. Personalization isn't really anything new. I mean, if you've ever seen the bracelets at beach shops, on the the boardwalk, because you can get your name on anything. But I think now what we're really seeing is companies like Custom Ink, Personalization Mall, they have tons and tons. It's like an Amazon, tons and tons of products, but you can get all kinds of personalization done on those items. The other thing I think and we have companies in this industry that offer very similar services at very low minimums, which is also really great. Like Custom Color Solutions, they're a supplier. They offer no minimums. So that's pretty great. I think the minimum's like 1. So that is really, really great for us. And I think, the other part of it is the full custom, which I think is related but separate. So, when we talk about MTailor, where you just take a video of yourself and submit it through the app and you get custom made clothes for yourself. And there's a company called eShakti for women's clothes that does something very similar. I think that we're going to see, we're definitely going to see some of that customization in this industry, but I'm not quite sure we're quite there yet with the full custom, only because trying to create a one-of-a-kind piece for every single individual person when we're built on, high quantities, low cost, I just don't, it's going to take a real paradigm shift. I think the technology is developing where we would be able to do that, but I just don't know if we're there quite yet. But yeah, there's definitely, it's becoming an expectation that things are made for you. I think we're embracing the fact that, we're not perfectly proportional. And so why are we trying to fit, a square peg into a round hole? Why are we making do with stuff that we find at the mall? Like, where it's now becoming kind of an expectation that the things that you buy will be made for you. And so I think the promo industry is going to have to, they're going to have to address that. But I think right now the personalization is really where it is, but customization will come, but I don't know if we're quite there yet.
Yeah. So you're saying that this desire for personalized products is part of a much larger phenomenon.
It is. I really think that people they're very, they want things very quickly, and people really want the things that they buy and invest or receive as gifts. That's part of it too, but they want it to really reflect their personal identity and their personal brand. And that's not becoming, it used to be a nice to have and people were really appreciative. Now it's becoming more of an expectation.
Right.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah. I love where it's heading. Obviously, I agree with you that I don't think it's quite there yet. But being able to have an Aaron size sweater or shirt or whatever, I think is going to be really cool when it comes to the textile world. I don't have to worry about is it long enough, is it tall enough,
Right.
So,
yep.
Or wide enough, depending on what time of year it is.
We are coming into the holidays, so
that's right. Hey, Terry, real quick. Todd had asked a question. What was the no minimum place again?
Oh, sure. It's called Custom Color Solutions. They're an ASI supplier. Yep.
Okay. Perfect.
And what kind of supplier are they? I didn't quite hear.
They do like gift, home decor, a lot of, the hard goods, just general hard goods. Yeah, they are very, very, very interesting company. They do full color. They do personalization, obviously, and the minimums are like super. I think it might be like 1 or no minimums even. It's pretty amazing.
I think you at least have to have 1, right?
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, let's see here. Get back on track. As you guys may have saw, I took a little break for a moment, just to restart things for the fun of it.
Wouldn't be 2 regular guys without a slight technical glitch. So.
That's right. All right. Well, so obviously personalization products is a big investment on the part of the manufacturer. Does that equate to more from the consumer? You think that's from what you've seen and people you've talked to, are they getting more money out of this by making these investments?
I don't know. I think it's still part of that paradigm shift, especially in this industry. I mean, I think the imprinting technology is advancing. It's getting more affordable, which is great. I think there's going to be more, 3D printing as that technology develops and gets more affordable. I think it's going to, be used for this kind of an application. However, I still think that there's still people who want the lowest price, and they're not going to worry too much about having full custom items for every single recipient. I still think there are people who are going to, they're just not ready yet for, if they're ever ready for, paying top dollar or premium price for custom items. So I don't know at this point if the investment is really across the board. I would say if it's really paying off, if they're seeing huge sales of custom items by investing in a lot of equipment and infrastructure, I'm just not seeing that. I'm really not.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Well, it's interesting as well, because I'm involved primarily right now in direct to garment printing. some of the larger companies, the Cafe Presses and the Zazzles and companies like that have set the standard in the industry for pricing, and it's really been a benefit to the small decorator in that if people are used to paying $20 for a T-shirt on any of these websites, so it's pretty easy for a small decorator with one machine to actually make a living with that one machine because the standard has been set already. So, it's along those lines. Talk to us a little bit about the challenges and the rewards of the customized product world.
Yeah, I think, the reward is that these items are going to be kept longer. I think we can safely agree that if something's personalized for you or fully custom, you're going to keep it for the long term. I think also something that we talked about in the article was that, we're moving away from the eras, the 80s and 90s, the eras of consumption where status symbol equaled your mall haul with retail names all over your bags and most expensive department stores. People are clearing out. They want fewer things. Generally speaking, they want fewer things, but they want them to be more meaningful. And I think you're seeing, if they're going to be kind of clearing out and they're giving kind of prime real estate to certain items, those items are going to align with that personal brand or personal identity that they've created for themselves and they're embracing. So the items around them have to be of pretty high quality, and it really helps if they've had a hand in making them, like the Google hat, or if it's personalized for them, perhaps it has like a very special date on it from something that happened in their lives. Those are the things that people are really kind of keeping with them. But I think, and the other thing is, and Aaron, we talked about this too for the article, it's interesting to me that so many people are willing to divulge such personal information to get very custom, very personalized items. I think like with the M Tailor, they know your body type, your measurements. With something even like a subscription box, they know your hairstyle, they know your skin type, they know your diet and wellness regime. I mean, I just think like and even it might sound a little ancillary, but I think we also, with the 23andMe and the Ancestry.com kits, like you're giving people access to your entire genetic code just to get like a readout of your like ancestry. Like I think, it's interesting in this day and age where cybersecurity is so big, we're so willing to kind of divulge a lot of personal information to get these personalized products. So I think that is going to be, we're going to see some challenges with that. What does that actually mean in the long term if we're disclosing all of this information? What does that mean for us kind of as a society if we're willing to give all of that up and be so open and transparent? But I think also another challenge is for companies in this industry. I'm not sure yet if the infrastructure, the equipment, the employee numbers are quite ready yet for an existing company to adopt this model of like one-off custom items. I just don't know if they're quite ready for that. And also, I think the big thing is, even if you think you're totally ready as a company to do that, your customer service has to keep up. Because if you say that you're going to offer full custom within 2 days, it better be correct every time, and it has to be delivered in 2 days, or you just lost that business. Because people are they're unforgiving. They're not going to give you many chances. If they give you more than one chance, you're probably lucky. So I think that's the other thing. You really have to be ready to kind of address the crazy demand that would come in and be able to serve people according to your standards. Yeah.
No, that's a huge point, and I'm glad that you made that. I hear a lot of people talk about kind of that, am I either customer focused or am I profitable? And I argue the opposite, that if you're customer focused, you're going to be profitable. But the key is setting those expectations correctly up front, So if you think that you need to go out and compete and say, I have to get everything delivered in 2 days, well, like you said, you've got to deliver it in 2 days. And so you got to plan for that up front. And so that's a huge point there for sure. So Sarah, I'm kind of going a little hair off script here because you had mentioned our conversation that we had, and I appreciate you coming up with the disclosing the information thing. And I think that's a big point of this too. And from your world, the promotional products world there that you were actively involved with, kind of the brand aspect of this whole thing, the branding aspect. I mean, that's kind of the point of a promotional product, is brand awareness for the customers that they're serving. So how does this change things? Instead of having 10,000, trinkets or whatever, if they're only making 100 shirts, how does that change the brand awareness side of things?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I mean, I think it's arguable there. I think there's kind of two arguments. One is that
Yeah.
there are fewer products, so fewer impressions. I would also argue that if somebody is keeping something for longer because it's customized or personalized, that also means that that item's getting more impressions. So I don't know if impressions necessarily would be quite as affected. I actually think, and this is actually an article that we did for, this is a separate feature we did for November, which was our Merch Madness one that talked about kind of merch saturation and are we reaching a level where there's too much promotional product in the marketplace. I think, I think that there is an argument to be made for more targeted distribution of promo products. So what I mean is like instead of just saying here's a pile of products, pick what you want, we're saying okay, we're going to actually spend about the same amount, but on higher quality products, maybe even personalized or customized. And we're going to give it to fewer people, but much more targeted so that it's actually something that this particular group would really appreciate. So I think you're seeing like much more, and we should be seeing, I think, in this, the society we live in now, the way things are shifting, we should be seeing more targeted distribution of promo products. So there might be fewer products, but I think they become more meaningful. And then in turn, since they're more meaningful to the recipient, they keep them longer. So each item gets more impressions.
Yeah, it's like at a trade show where there's 12,000 people there, and everybody's taking a keychain with your name on it out of a bowl, and only 100 of those people are really your customers. So I think that makes a lot of sense. I did have a paradigm shift of my own because up until now, I thought Amazon would become Skynet when the machines take over. Now, according to you, it's Ancestry.com. They're Skynet. They're going to have all of our information.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people are so willing to divulge so much. And if they have you can do with, I know with 23andMe you can do ancestry and health. So some people want to know about their health history, but now that history, I mean, they do say, your privacy is important to us, yada yada. But really, it is on file somewhere. I mean, where is that information going? And, so many people, though, are so willing to give all of that up for a personal readout of what makes them them. And I think that, aside from like the long-term like psychology of the whole thing or the sociology of it, I just kind of, I wonder where that's going to go and how much deeper that's going to get, how transparent people are really going to become.
Well, that is interesting. I mean, we're tackling some things, and honestly, I think this is really cool that you guys are willing to dive into this. I think you talked about the merch madness. Is it overdoing it? I mean, your population could think that that's sacrilege, but I totally disagree with anybody that would think that, because this is the future. Your members need to be able to, and the people that should be members, which is all the folks that we're listening to here, they need to understand where things are going. And so I think it's awesome you guys are tackling these things. This is great stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, I didn't really have a question there, but so not to plug, I really enjoyed our conversation that we got to have back in September on your podcast. I think you guys call it The Expert. Is that correct? If I have that right? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Wow, honored to be part of that, but it was fun. And obviously you can tell that's a bit of a passion of mine is this whole trend of what's happening in our industry is personalization, customization, I think is where everything's heading.
Sure.
How's the promo world kind of embracing that now at this point, especially after the fact? If you guys have any feedback after this article's been published, things like that?
Yeah, I think, I think personalization is big right now. I know there's another company I talked to for the article called FPS, Apparel in Jersey, and they do they can take a logo and make it into really cool, like full color designs, like these, step and repeat, just really awesome stuff. There's images in the article that are worth looking at, just really cool work that they do. Yeah. And they will customize and personalize, aspects of, they'll do like waistbands on yoga pants, they'll do bags, they'll do like full like dye sub jackets and shirts, and it's really awesome stuff. That's being embraced now. Custom color solutions, that's another one. Like they're just really embracing that move towards personalization. Again, as far as customization, I just don't know if our industry kind of, the way it's operated for so long is quite there yet with those, high quantities, and the high quantities and low prices. Not sure if it's quite there. And also, I think in terms of the infrastructure that's in place right now, they're just not quite ready for it. It doesn't mean that a company couldn't maybe come into promo that's, maybe outside at retail and consumer level and maybe wants to come into promo and can kind of adapt to the promo industry. But I think right now, kind of the reaction has been, yeah, that's where things are moving. Yeah, that's, customization would be awesome to be able to offer our clients. But we're just not, the infrastructure, we're just not quite there to be able to offer like one-off custom items with the current infrastructure employees we have, the number we have.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Terry has decided to tune out. He can't hear either of us right now. Can he? Or can you? Are you back, Terry?
I'm here. I just can't hear Sarah. So.
Oh, well, everybody else can.
Okay.
You muted her out, but no, I'm just kidding. Well, Sarah, this has been great, and we really appreciate your time. Any last thoughts on this before we let you go here? Anything that we didn't cover?
No, I think we really covered a lot from the article. I think, yeah, it's definitely, it's not anymore. I think last word would be, it's not just a nice to have, it's going to be a must have. Some kind of personalization or customization for clients. I think it's going to be expected. I think it's how we're going to keep up. And I think, the more quickly that suppliers and distributors kind of get on that and address it as they can, I think it's going to only benefit us.
Awesome. Okay. Well, tell us where people can learn more about ASI, learn more about the magazine, everything you guys got going on over there.
Yeah, sure. So we have our news site is asicentral.com. That's where all of our news stories are. That's from all of our magazines, all of our writers. It's asicentral.com, and then it's /news is our news site. And and then advantagesmag.com is where you can see all the digital versions of our magazine from up until November, and then December will be out in a few days.
Awesome. Wow, you guys are busy over there. Well, good stuff. Well, thank you so much. We're actually going to have Teresa back with us. She's been on a couple times, and they've got the state of the industry over there at Wearables that we always love discussing with her. So we're excited to have her back on. That's in February. So any great things going on over there? You have anything, please reach out. We'd love to have you back to discuss some new topics soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Aaron, Terry. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Yeah. Whoops. All right. Cool, Terry. Well, can you hear me now?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I apologize.
Good.
I only lost Sarah, her picture and her voice, but
well, that's okay.
I'd already asked all the questions I had to ask for her.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. Yeah, I decided to restart there in the middle. You lost Sarah, so hey, that's perfect. This is how we roll. Good stuff.
Aaron, and along these same lines, I think we're all seeing this every day as well. Is that I obviously talk to screen printers all the time. I teach screen printing classes, and more and more and more, they're adding that digital decorating, and we've been kind of preaching about this, repeating Mark Coudray. If you're not in digital, you're going to be passed by, and hey, all these decoration methods aren't going away, but you've got to be able to do that one-off, because that customer is right there and is going to be requiring you to if you want to be a current participant in the industry, you're going to have to be able to do that. And I think that's a lot of what Sarah was talking about is, there's paradigm shift in the industry and the way we go about doing business. And yes, I'm sure it's scary for a lot of companies, especially companies that are really entrenched in traditional decoration methods, but it's also a really exciting time to be a part of the industry, because it feels like everything is in fast motion right now, and new changes every day. And all the more reason to be going to trade shows, especially shows like ISS Long Beach coming up in January, because we're going to be seeing lots and lots of new ways to decorate, and lots and lots of ways to accelerate what we do, ways to accomplish customization, maybe even in combining it with traditional decoration methods, that sort of thing. But it's really an exciting time to be a part of the industry. Definitely. No, totally. Hey, Jerry, I wanted to share, and it's just going to cover us up here. So Jeff mentioned, so here's how we are doing personalization with promo. Our customers set up a company store that gives
that they give their customers access to. Customers order stuff from the store. We have the ASI supplied products with some branding in stock. Then we personalize them and fulfill. Nothing comes from ASI personalized. The ASI suppliers are just not set up to do that. So that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a great model for selling, business, selling your customer.
Yeah, customers. Yeah. And he followed that up with, and we get $20 for a name on a jacket, not the $3 a contract embroiderer charges for the same number of stitches. So, like I said, that's a great way to go about this.
It's fulfillment. Fulfillment's been around forever, but this is going to be fulfillment on steroids. It's going to be doing that, and he's absolutely correct. People will pay a premium for that because they don't have to touch it. They're able to compete in that one-off marketplace and still not have to touch the product or touch the process. So lots of opportunities out there for decorators.
Yeah, definitely. So Jeff said, welcome back, by the way, Terry, just see, I'm not sure if you saw that, but
Jeff, I'm not back to work. Don't call me.
Yeah, exactly. Just to kind of follow up on that you were just talking about, Terry, before I got distracted by the shiny object and Jeff saying hello. Like you said, that fulfillment and the premium, I mean, it kind of came full circle for me, where I was talking to somebody the other day about, I've been crazy busy just helping out at Pick the Gift as much as I humanly can without sleep. So somebody was saying, what do you guys do to kind of generate this fourth quarter push? How do you get these big numbers every fourth quarter? Promotions, you do Black Friday specials. Absolutely none of that. In fact, prices kind of go up a little bit this time of year just because you can't keep up with the volume, and it is crazy. Just what people are doing. It's that personalized product. It's that, I don't know. It goes beyond. It's the thought that counts. It's like, this is something for them. So it could be, a little coffee mug, but if it's got my name on it, I'm going to use that one over just the generic one. So.
And Aaron, business-wise, production-wise, dealing with such extremes of production is it's a giant challenge. It takes a lot of planning and a lot of effort, and it's certainly a show that we should have in the future.
Well, speaking of that, tomorrow I'm just as a way to continue, Small Business Saturdays. I'm actually going in to Pick the Gift tomorrow morning to do Small Business Saturdays, and I'm going to show people around. Try to work my way through the madness and kind of show people around. So it'll be fun. And Jim says, "Look, squirrel." So yes, he's distracted. I appreciate that.
Very nice.
Well, hey Terry, you want to take a quick break here, and I got to see if I can get things up here. But take a quick break to hear a word from Equipment Zone, and maybe if I can get everything without freezing us up here, and then we'll come back and wrap up with a few things. That sound good?
Very good. Our show today is sponsored by Equipment Zone. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000 direct-to-garment printer. Equipment Zone is the only Epson reseller who sends a technician to every customer location for training. This is an absolutely free visit to your location. Equipment Zone is also the manufacturer of the #1 pre-treat machine in the industry, the Speed Treater TX. With no compressor and no special tanks, the Speed Treater TX is the easiest and most consistent pre-treat machine available worldwide. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000, the Speed Treater TX, and for all your DTG inks and supplies. That's equipmentzone.com. That's equipmentzone.com.
Okay. Terry, there we go.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I muted myself for a second. I didn't think anybody wanted to hear me typing. So,
gotcha.
But right. A lot of things on the horizon with Equipment Zone, by the way. And some people are familiar. We do an Epson seminar, an all-day seminar before the show, or before 3 of the ISF shows, all the MBM shows, and that's all going to be changed up this coming year. It's going to be more of of course, the basics of direct to garment, but a lot more business management, how to prepare your artwork, things like that as well. So, and anybody who's already attended one of those events, you might want to sign up again, because it's going to be a lot of exciting things, some new faces there during the presentations as well. So look forward to doing that starting here. Gosh, Aaron, around the corner, around January 20th.
Nice. Hey, Terry, before we keep going, Jeff had another comment that I think is worth just this conversation is obviously, like I said, a passionate conversation for me too. So, and I appreciate all Jeff's feedback throughout here. He says, seems like the secret sauce for much of this stuff is the design work for the item. He sees too many of his peers giving that part away for free. Once the design is done, you have given up your advantage and put yourself down on the level of the common player, or, what would be considered a commodity. And I think that's definitely a huge part of it. Over at Pick the Gift, we're contract manufacturers, so we don't do any artwork. And that's, people are always like, well, why wouldn't people just come to you direct? Well, we don't do any artwork, and we don't plan to. We just print what people give us, and if you can't give us the artwork, then we can't help you. And that's I think a huge part of all this is if you have that ability, then use it and take advantage of it and get paid for it. Like Jeff said, giving it away, I'm silly.
Well, and of course, what we're looking at is, you want to have a quality product and you want to give great service. But in the end, what really separates one decorator from the next who's selling the exact same product is the artwork. And it should be worth a premium if you have a big advantage over your competitors. And guess what? You probably do. So
yeah, totally. So also Terry, Deborah Korn checking in. We've got an appointment with Deborah to talk about how we work together. She's got some great stuff going on over there. So looking forward to having that conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Jeff says we don't charge for our work. So I misunderstood. We don't charge for our work, but we don't give it out. Okay. Yeah. And that again, that's part of it. What's the service? What's the value add that you do? And Jeff seems like they've really got a good handle on what their value add is for their companies. So hopefully all the rest of the decorators out there can really work and try to understand that for themselves. So good stuff there. All right, Terry. Well, let's, you know what you want to do? Reggie's first? You want to cover what events we've got coming up first?
Let's jump on Reggie's. I actually have it up on my screen if you want me to kind of run down the list for us. Do we want to talk about the nominees, Aaron?
Yeah, why don't you just? I've got it up here as well, and the voting is open and going on for another couple of weeks here. But it's been fast and furious already. Look at most of these categories are in the anywhere from 500 to 1,000 votes already being placed in each category. So got to keep that rolling and keep those votes coming in. There are a few close races for sure. So
and with 2 weeks to go, these numbers could change quite a bit. So people really need to keep out there, keep voting, and keep. Hey, if you're a nominee, there's nothing wrong with going out and doing a little promotion on your social media as well.
Yeah. We did get an email I forgot to share with you guys, but somebody was lamenting the fact that people were promoting and I guess some folks have even gone to the route of bribing their followers with opportunities to enter free drawings and stuff like that. So I didn't have an opportunity to respond to that email yet, and they were a little upset that they thought that wasn't really a fair thing to be doing. And honestly, though, I think, what this is all about, it is an opportunity for the industry to promote themselves and try to recognize people. I don't think really at the end of the day, anybody really cares all that much about our coffee mug as much as we'd like to think that. I think it's an opportunity for people to, we learn about new companies each time. We read off, if you go back to our nomination show a couple weeks ago, we read off all the nominees and we recognize everybody that's been nominated. So, I think it's more about that than about, who's going to actually win. We wanted an award show that wasn't kind of a, group of people getting together and deciding who the award, just a small group of chosen people getting together to decide who the award winners were. We wanted to. And I think purposely left it so that there weren't a lot of rules involved other than, nominated by the people and voted on by the people. And
And you and I have no other input rather than to announce the winners. So
Yeah, exactly. Todd said, and some have even disrobed. So I missed that one, and I'm probably
I certainly missed that as well.
Oh boy. Well, hey, these things happen, and no, it's the other thing is we want people to be having fun. I think sometimes I've seen at least a lot of travels in the online world within our communities. Some people take themselves a little too seriously. That's where Two Regular Guys came from, is that we don't take ourselves very seriously, and we just enjoy being part of this community and sharing and participating, I guess is thing. So
exactly.
We want you to participate, whether you're upset about something or not. At least you're participating, so I'd rather have fun doing it, but just participate. So all right. So there's my did I rant? Did I just rant? I thought we said we didn't do that, but that's my fault.
We don't rant.
All right. All right.
Well,
Terry.
you want to take turns going through the categories? Yeah. Okay. I'll start with Best New Product of 2018. Nominees are Wallacut Express from HTW, Embrilliance Stitch Artist 3D Foam Underlay. Third is the Epson F2100 DTG printer. 4 is Bling Anything from the Rhinestone World, and 5 is the Design Wizard software from the Rhinestone World.
Yeah, and as Terry was listing out numbers, he wasn't saying who's leading. Just that's the order
absolutely.
that it's in as you're reading it. So don't take that as. Sorry,
I did it because I realized I wasn't leaving commas between each one of these that I was reading up.
See, I'll write commas there for you. No, okay. All right, best sales or customer service representative, Mitch Rubecki from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Again, I am the butcher of all names beyond. Sean Moreno, the Rhinestone World. Gabe Hernandez, the Rhinestone World. Lisa Potts, the Rhinestone World. And Christine Shreve from Enmart.
Very good. A company that provides the best customer service in 2018. Heat Transfer Warehouse. Next, the Rhinestone World. Next, Racoma International Corporation. Next is Sanmar. Next is Embrilliance.
And next category, best online educational content, EricCampbell.com, Ted Stahl's blog, Heat Transfer Warehouse YouTube channel, OML Embroidery University, the Rhinestone World YouTube channel.
All right. Best industry educator for 2018, Eric Campbell, Gabe Hernandez, Lisa Potts, Matt Vasallo, and Sue Brown.
All right. Best industry trade show, ISS Long Beach, ISS Atlantic City, NBM Indianapolis, the DAC Chicago show, and ISS Orlando.
All right. Well, Aaron, I don't think we can list through the best decorated items.
Yeah, you'll have to go look for it. It's you got a picture right there. There's a rhinestone cup, a vinyl decorated shirt, a sublimation mug, a sublimation serving tray, and a laser transfer shirt that you'll want to see there. But Terry, who are the most influential young star nominees?
Very good. And this is for the under 40 crowd in the industry. Pete Jr., Brooke Hess-Dahlen, Eric Campbell, Gabe Hernandez, and Lisa Potts.
Nice. And did we ever check Eric's driver's license to make sure that
I don't think so. Eric, if you wouldn't mind copying that and sending that to us in an email front and back, please.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, Eric, sorry, buddy. We had to. We love you, pal.
Rich.
All right. Best guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast. We got Matt Vasallo for his episode Rhinestones and Vinyl by the Numbers. Got Eric Campbell for his episode Craft versus Industry, the Home Market Effect on Professional Decorating. Gordon Firemark for his topic, Copyright and Trademark Laws. Allison J. Prince, her recent conversation with us about building an e-commerce brand. And Pete Jr., and more social media with New Era Apparel. And Uncle Tone, I think, is in there too. So.
That's a tough category because every one of those shows was really a good
awesome.
show. So.
Yeah. But they all are, Terry. Who are we kidding?
They all are. That's true. All right. Well, the best ambassador for the industry 2018, Matt Vasallo, Eric Campbell, Joe Piazza, and Pete Jr. And that wraps up our our list of 2018 Reggie nominees. And Aaron, as you mentioned, we've got 2 weeks to go. And 2 weeks from today, we'll be making those announcements.
Excellent. Yes. All right, Terry. Let's talk real quick about some other events, and then we'll wrap this up and get out of here today. As we talked about, I've got the weekly SBS video series that I put on, and you can find that over at aaronmontgomery.info/SBS video, or through my Facebook page, facebook.com/aaronmontgomery.info. That's every Saturday morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time or 8:30 a.m. Pacific. And as I mentioned, I'm road tripping it down to Pick the Gift to kind of explore wide format printing and put you guys in the middle of the chaos. Yes, it is a Saturday, and yes, everybody will be working, and we could do the same thing on Sunday and every day between now and probably the 21st of December. So if you're looking for me, that's where you'll find me. February 22nd of 2019, I will be presenting Developing a Business Plan at the DAX Kansas City show at 12:30 p.m. And February 22nd, just shortly thereafter, I hopefully will be staying in the same room, but otherwise running next door to the next room to talk about being customer-centric equals, in all caps, more profits. So that'll be at 2:20. So
Very nice.
I think we are overlapping, so we're going to have a battle royale there.
I think we are overlapping. Yeah. Well, I only have January events up here so far. January 17th, I'm going to be hosting the Epson 2100 DTG class before the ISS Long Beach show. On Saturday, January 19th, I'll be presenting The World Says I Should Be a Digital Decorator. And on Sunday, January 20th, I'll be out on the show floor doing a quick presentation, questions to ask as you're shopping for a DTG printer. And I'll be, of course, exhibiting in the Equipment Zone booth January 18th through 20th there in Long Beach as well. January 26th through 27th will be my first screen printing class of the year at Workhorse Products in Phoenix. And all my upcoming events will be up on terrycombs.com soon. Some are there, but most are not. But
right.
Keep an eye out. I have 3 days off right now, starting now.
All right. Just real quick, one comment. We have a new category for next year. So Deborah Korn is in the running for the Intergalactic Ambassador. So we're looking forward to that.
It's the future, right?
Right. Real quick, Terry, our producer Eric Campbell is going to be out and about as well this year, so looking forward to seeing him on the road. January 18th, he will be teaching at Long Beach, Learn to Digitize, the 2 kinds of embroidery knowledge. Again, the next day, he's got, there in ISS Long Beach, he's got the Scientific Stitcher, measurement and testing. And then every day, you get something new from Eric there. So January 20th, he's going to be presenting Embroidery Pricing Models Explained. So that is where Eric will be. And he commented that same with me. He will be at DAX in February and at ISS Atlantic City. So, and then
ditto for me.
So, and then, Terry, quick follow up here. We don't have to add the category. It's already been won. It's over. It's done. So Deborah has already won the Intergalactic Ambassador Award. So good. Whew, that's less work for me. Terry says, don't leave us seniors out. LOL. All right.
Nice.
Well, Terry, have we come to the close of another show? I think we've had a great time. And again, thank you so much to Sara and the good folks over at ASI for her time and all the great content and coverage. I really enjoyed my conversation with her back in September. It's a topic that I think we need to keep talking about, and we need to keep bringing it up because it is the future, and so that's what we want to do. So again, go check them out at asicentral.com.
And then looking forward to speaking with Teresa there also in come February and about the basically the state of the industry. A great show from last year and all new information coming up for this year. But we also want to thank Eric Campbell, our show sponsor. I'm sorry, our show producer. You can also find him at. I gave you a promotion, Eric.
Yeah. Promotion comes with having to write us a check.
Exactly. You can find Eric over at Eric with an H, ERICH, ericcampbell.com. And then we also want to thank our sponsors, the Specialty Graphic Imaging Association, SGIA, and Equipment Zone. We very much appreciate your support.
Yes, and next week, Terry, we are going to be talking embroidery technology and what's changing in that world with our friends over at ZSK. Most likely Andrea, maybe her brother Nick. It could be the whole crew. Who knows? We don't have that figured out yet, but we are excited to talk to them about what's going on, both embroidery from a apparel side, but they also get pretty involved in some of the technical embroidery stuff too. And it sounds like there's some big things going on in that world as well. So that's going to be a fun conversation, and probably have Eric involved in that because he's our resident embroidery guy.
Absolutely. Look forward to that. But until then, I'm Terry Combs and he is Aaron Montgomery.
And we are the Two Regular Guys. Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.